Let me just restart my... Have I got an invitation? No. Are you live again?
Yeah.
Okay, I see it. Have you pre-ordered, since we have time to talk about it, have you pre-ordered for F1 2021?
I have, and
nice.
I hope my manager's not listening, because I'm going to take a leave as well to play it during the week, because I've ordered the deluxe edition. So
how are you doing, Sid?
Sid, if you can just confirm something to me.
Check Discord. शुरू हो गया फिर से.
Is the quality really bad on the stream, or is it fine? Because on my laptop it's like 144p or something. Just quickly let me know, anyone who's watching right now.
I'm getting option for 720p also.
Oh, okay, fine. So it's just that the automatic settings needs to change, and then it should be fine now. So Nishan, it's just your internet which is the problem, Nishan, and not my stream. Either ways, wow, 20 drivers in already. Teams, are you in?
I am just about getting in.
Okay, just let's quickly send each other invites as well, a couple of them, so that if one of meanwhile I'm spamming invites to you, so everyone on the stream, sorry for the blue screen right now. I'm just ensuring that if Teves does unfortunately lag out, he can quickly join in, and Teves ensure that you select spectate the moment you are in, so that you are not put into a car.
No, I do not need to relive the nightmare from yesterday. So I do not need to relive that nightmare. I am fine spectating. I do not want to race.
Right, and Noah says hello. Noah, this has happened because you declined to
exactly, Noah, because you weren't here in chat. The lobby glitched out.
Yeah, we waited for Noah to mark his entrance, and only then we can get racing. But this helps the likes of who was it?
But I think
Ashwin and Racing Gupta, because they were on 2-lap old soft tires. Everyone in the top 10 now will start on a fresh set of softs, and while they have to stick with the tire choice, let's see if anyone in the bottom 10 change their tire choice, because they probably can.
But this is going to be this just change. This obviously just shake things up, because now strategy completely changed, because you don't have the wear from qualifying, so you can technically go longer on your tires.
Yeah, and you can definitely go longer on tires, and that, I don't know, I want to see if someone is bold enough to try softs to mediums. That's something which would really mix things up. And
the game was suggesting that was one of the, when we were starting the formation lap, it did give one of the pit stop strategies.
Well, it showed softs to hards and mediums to hards for me. But
the first time it showed me softs to mediums, then it showed me softs hards, which is if you're gonna make it you're gonna make it go from softs to mediums, but then when you're doing two softs and like a two stop, you're gonna do softs hards. I would do softs mediums then, right?
That's Code
yes,
Masters.
you have. No, yes,
that's
yes,
Code
yes,
Masters
you have
for you.
Been graced.
Oh
that
yeah, the stash. Either way. I think
what they're trying to do... let us get this out there. The stash that Jin wants to get rid of.
Oh, is it? Alright.
He suggested today that if I finish in top 8 of the next season of the league, I should go clean shaven.
Oh, okay.
So
Sid, we are waiting for... Yeah, go on.
Sorry, yeah, we're waiting for everyone to ready up. And
no, we are actually waiting for Sid to, Caesar to put a custom grid. That's why it's taking a bit longer than usual.
Okay.
While we have all the 20 drivers in, Caesar has to actually
But I think a lot of people are already excited and they've already.
They are being a little impatient, and I hope that not enough people ready up because.
Kadav's message in Discord is amazing.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
I want to watch Germany, Portugal. So the one time he races, he still wants to not race. Either ways.
Long live the stash. Yes, Noah, long live the stash. I shall not be getting rid of it. I don't know how excited Venkatesh is to drive. How many times do you want to drive the same track, Venkatesh? You did it yesterday, you're going to do it today. I think we should start a petition for Sid Venkatesh to do D1 and D2.
Yeah, one of those drivers along with Nishan. I'm surprised Nishan is not driving tonight. But either ways, I think the signal has been given. The drivers can ready up, and just after that, they will be putting. I hope that no one
given the notification.
Yeah, I hope no one tries to forget their setups because it is a new lobby, so they will have to ensure that.
It is a new lobby, so setups, and hopefully people don't get excited and ready up immediately, and mess the race up for everyone else.
Right. So Nishan, keep us updated on the score with Germany Portugal. One of the Nishan. Matches which I think everyone wanted to watch. And
but are you surprised by the France? What's it called? The France-Hungary game. I was surprised by that.
No, I didn't
watch it. I didn't watch it, but just looking at the scoreline surprises me.
So what was the scoreline? Tell us. I have no idea. Oh, 1-1. Okay.
1-1.
Did Hungary drew? No, they lost against Portugal, right? So
they lost 3-0 to Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
And what surprises me with the Hungary game is that Griezmann scored.
Good for me because I'm a Barca fan. I hope he picks up his form for the next season because I'm sure he can do much better than what he is right now. It's clear skies, so the race is gonna be dry. Predictions for your podium, Suraj, not Suraj, Teeves.
Predictions. Okay, predictions. Because of the new strategy, and I honestly think it's going to be. I think Caesar, Vifex, Racing Gupta, or Ashwin. It's going to be super close between the four. I honestly think in that order. What do you mean 2 own goals, Portugal?
2 own goals?
The second goal was... Oh yeah, Ruben Diaz.
Oh my god.
I missed 2 own goals. So technically even Germany hasn't scored. It's only Portugal scoring.
Yeah,
they're
that's
keeping
why
that up, okay.
Noah said that it's Portugal beating Portugal right now with 2-1. Karnav this time has changed. The sneaky Karnav has changed from.
I need to get my.
Yeah, he has changed from hards to the from the softs to hards, and that is more like it when it comes to Karnav. But here we go.
I think he's thinking long. But honestly, starting on the hards honestly doesn't make sense.
Well, HVP would disagree from last night.
HVP
you know what
would
it is.
Disagree. Yes, he would definitely disagree. But HVP was also on a different level when it comes to race pace, right? But if you get a safety car, say around in that golden period between lap 8 to lap 10, 11, the hard runners have no option where they are going to have to. They're going to have to
they'll have to stay out. Yeah, they'll have to stay out and then extend the run and then go for a pair of soft tires at the end. But
and they will have to. Then they will have to ensure that despite the hard tires, they will have to build up that gap so that they do not lose their position on track positions when they pit, or they are close enough where they can make those positions, gain those positions back.
Right, absolutely.
I think, as you said, Kanav's the only one who's changed his strategy.
Well, not entirely sure. Let's have a look.
Because I think Cyril's
No,
on the softs.
Google
Quick Killer
Dougal.
is also on the softs.
Yeah, Google Dougal changed it as well. I don't think he was on the softs, but now he is on a
Okay.
set of soft tires. So good to see all the 3 tires being put to use this weekend. And as the drivers are making their way to the grid slots, let's see how everyone takes turn 1 and lap 1, and let's hope that there
And what
are
are
no
you
DNFs.
before the lights, as the grid forms up, you didn't tell us your predictions.
Right, my predictions. These are definitely one of the people who will finish on the podiums. On the podium, Ashwin for sure, and let's check with VFix this time then.
Suraj jinxing, trying to jinx the Williams team.
Yeah,
But
this time we will have the
the
5
race is
lights coming
starting.
on. Yeah,
Yes,
one,
we
two,
will.
3, 4, 5 lights on the screen. Lights out, and away we go. It's a good start from both the Williams, and Ashwin might have overtaken. Oh, give me a good strategy here. Give me a good camera here. And PSI Legends is being challenged by Ashwin into the next few turns. PSI on the back of Caesar and is in a bit of a Williams sandwich so far. Meanwhile, behind, there are still glitch going on. I mean, cars are ghosted, but for now,
There's a glitch going on because it shows me as shows Caesar as P8 for me on the left, but it does show him leading the track, leading on track. But yeah, he's got a good start. He did well. Ashwin did have an initial good launch, but he could not capitalize on that. And I think it's one of the McLarens of Vicky spun, I believe.
yeah,
And
Vicky
he has
has
damage.
indeed spun, and he has damage, and he's on the
He
hard
has been
tires, so he
damaged.
will have to
And
go
he's
on
on
a
the hard
different
tires,
set of
so-
tires. Apart from that,
So
people who have
this is what I was talking. This is what I was talking about. When you start on the hard tires, you kind of sometimes we did not get to see the incident, but he does get stuck in this no man's land where he has no option now.
yeah, let's see
cannot-
what
it's
his
not like
strategy
he
is going
can-
to be. There's Manan's going quite slowly. I don't know whether he's going to pit. He is going into
Yes,
the
he is
pits.
pitting. Manan is pitting. Vicky is pitting. I cannot. And an Alpha Tauri of Serial Killer is also pitting. So I don't know. I think there was contact between them. But Manan's going on to another set. Is going on to a set of hards. In fact, now.
Yeah, let's see if he can finish the
It's a
race
slow-
on that set of tires.
Wing change. 33 laps on the hard tires. I think. I don't know. I don't think it's. Is it possible?
Well, it's definitely a stretch. I'm not entirely sure if that's possible.
It's definitely a stretch, but I don't think it is possible. Because from my race sims, I did about 20-25 laps, and I had like 60 to 70% tire wear on my tires. So 33 laps puts you in tire explosion, Baku Pirelli territory.
Please don't remind me of Baku. That it's a memory I'm trying to forget. But speaking about positions gained on lap 1, Quick Killer has gained a lot of positions, 4 positions gained for him.
And as Jin
Sonic
confirms
Hawk
my
has-
theory, way too deep into puncture territory. Yes, way too deep
Yeah,
into puncture
yeah.
territory. But PSI is keeping up with Caesar, and so is Ashwin keeping up this Williams sandwich with the Ferrari of Vifix and Racing Gupt in the Force India. They're keeping each other honest. Their gaps haven't formed, and this is going to essentially be one DRS train. I think the next largest gap would be between position 6th and 7th.
Yeah, that's right. And Quick Killer meanwhile has made up another position on Arjun Ravi. So that's Quick Killer from P17. That was his start position. He's into P12, and there is an overtake going on as Shadow Sword is trying to make his way past the Mercedes of Eckford Brothers, who's reserving tonight, and Ishan has probably going to make his way past as well. Let's see, he runs into the back.
No, and there's damage on Ishan. Ishan's lost an end plate.
He has, and I think there's damage to Arjun Arun Shah's racing point as well, as we get a beautiful helicopter
No,
shot.
I do not see any damage on Arjun Shah's racing point. I think he was safe from that. But Ishan does pit. Ishan is pitting. The other person who didn't have a very good start is Sonic, who is running P13 now.
Sonic is running P13 and he is on those medium tires, so he would be hoping to go longer into the race than the soft tire runners. Up front, meanwhile, Racing Gupta is still on the back of VFX and not able to make his way through. That's the nature of the track rather than anything else. Ashwin would be hoping that his teammate can pull away a little bit so that PSI Legends is not within that DRS range and Ashwin can probably make it.
PSI is right on that cusp. It is changing. It is fluctuating between 0.9 seconds to 0.9 whatever millisecond, 900ths of a second to 1 second, but it's actually grown to 1.1 seconds now. So Caesar is pulling out that gap he needs to prevent that DRS from being used on him. But Ashwin, on the other hand, is in DRS zone as Sonic is actually trying to get past Arjun Ravi now, which he's part of that other DRS train from P9 to P13, and Sonic does go down the inside of Arjun Ravi, and the position is not his yet. They're going side by side, and he's had to yield. Sonic's had to yield.
Sonic has to yield. He stays in P13, but someone who has not yielded is
Ashwin. Has moved up. Ashwin's moved up. Yeah.
On the main straight, Ashwin is into P2, so it's a Williams 1-2 right now, and VFX has fallen back as well because of this. While they are still battling, VFX has fallen out of the DRS range, so Racing Gupta might have a go at him on the main straight. Another failed overtake, while I don't want to use that word, is Arjun Shah on the Mercedes of Epic Brothers. This is the exact same place where he tried to make an overtake work. Did not happen last time. Let's see if he goes.
And he's going to the outside. That is okay. He's going to the outside. He's going to the outside, and there's contact, but he makes sticks. There was a slight nudge there, but he did make the move stick, and he has gained another position.
Yeah, just some tire banging, but I don't think any harm done. Ashwin Lakhwani, meanwhile, has closed up to Caesar again, and I wonder if this is Britain all over again, where that's just Caesar trying to get Ashwin into his DRS, so the two of them can pull away from the people behind them. Kanav is on the back of Epic Brothers now because Arjun Shah has pulled away.
Yes, he is, and I think obviously Epic Brothers has gone deep and literally gifted the position to Kanav. But before that, I think Epic Brothers got thrown off by the move by Arjun Shah on him, and Kanav's been able to keep up on those hard tires, and I think that shows a lot. Like Kanav is pretty fast on those hard tires, and that is why he as you commented, time and time again he does start his races on those hard tires.
Yeah, but talking about Epic Brothers, he lost another position and he's now actually going into the pits. That's a very early pit stop for him, but he lost 3 positions in one corner because he went deep into a corner.
He went deep and he went into the gravel just before the second DRS zone.
Right, so another battle which has been going on for some time now, and this is a strange lack of pace, if I can use that word, for VFX. He is 2.5 seconds adrift of PSI, who is sticking with the Williams so far, and VFX is really struggling right now. And oh, that's Racing Gupta almost running into the back of him. And
yeah, but Racing Gupta has that DRS, which is going to be important, and he's right there, but he's not close enough to send one down the inside off of the chicane. But again, VFX is unusually slow.
Yeah, it is a little puzzling to see his pace today.
It is very puzzling to see VFX.
And Racing Gupta is just going to fly past him on the main straight. Here he goes. Racing Point versus Ferrari. Second. And Racing Gupta.
And he's going to go around the outside. And he's made he went too deep. He went too deep. But he's still there. But this is helping Saftar make up that position he lost. Because these three are in their own battle over here, and if VFX's the pace problem is like a genuine, like is actually a thing, that he could lose 2 positions here.
He is, and then the next car is further some way back in Shadow Sword, running P7, probably running his own pace, his own race right now, since he has quite a considerable gap to the car in front as well as behind him. Another battle, and that's down in P15 and P14 right now, as Utkarsh is on the back of Rohit Goel. Both the drivers on the same strategies. Utkarsh within 3 and 4 tenths of Rohit through the entirety of sector 1 and then sector 2. We will have to move back to the battle at the top, as Racing Gupta will probably have another go at VFX, and let's see if this time he can make the move stick.
I think he would be better off trying to go down the inside of turn 1, to be honest, and force VFX to the outside.
He stays behind for now.
He obviously wasn't close enough for that, so
yeah, probably didn't have enough battery left either, because he did use a lot of battery.
VFX and Racing are in the same amount. They have the same amount of ERS. I do not know how much, if they underfueled or overfueled their cars, so I don't know how much fuel they're running. That is not information we sadly have. But I want to comment about the Williams situation. It's not a situation. The Williams strategy, so to speak. They're the only two drivers on the track right now setting 11s. They are on the softs. They are in the 111s, and they have quite literally, if I'm not mistaken, they have checked out. They've checked out. They've pulled away. They've maintaining that gap to PSI. And I think that is something that a lot of drivers don't get, is that tendency to want to work with each other and think about the big picture, because Caesar's literally giving Ashwin that toe, which is enabling them to keep pace with each other and just pull away. And as we see, Safdar is trying to find a way past Racing Group. He's gone around the outside, but there is no space. He wasn't close enough.
And stays behind for now, and Racing Gupta has to... Yeah, he has to ensure that he doesn't lose a position here, because he's trying to get a position on VFX, but at the same time he has to be mindful of the driver behind him.
Yeah, so VFX is in a position to lose 2 places. Racing Gupta is in the position to possibly win 1 or lose 1, and Safdar has everything to gain by potentially getting both positions.
Right, this is an interesting battle for the 4th place right now, and has been like this in terms of positions for the last 3 or 4 laps at least, and not seeing a lot of overtakes, as we know that this is a track which is tough for overtaking, as Racing Gupta again getting very close to VFX at the exit of the chicane. And let's see if he has enough battery this time to actually go for a move again on the Ferrari driver. VFX getting a good exit out of the last corner, and yeah, I think Racing Gupta will not be close enough this time.
I want to talk about Ishan. Obviously, Ishan cannot go till the end on the tires he had, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, he did pit on lap 4 or 5. So he's not going to be able to do 30 laps, if I'm not mistaken. But he is a fast driver. He is a very fast driver. He has incredible race pace and qualifying pace. So what do you think he can pull out of this, salvage from this race after that damage to his front wing and he had to pit early?
I think at this point he might be hoping for a safety car sometime around lap 25 or so, or maybe even earlier than that, a little bit earlier than that, so he can go on a set of soft tires and finish the race strongly. But if there's a safety car earlier than that, he can go on a set of mediums and do a different kind of a strategy. Meanwhile, Arjun S. Ravi has put a move on Quick Killer, who is now coming under drag from Sonic. So I think those hard tires will now be feeling the pain, and they would be slower than the mediums right now. Sorry, the soft tires will be slower than the mediums probably, because they are nearing their tire life. And let's see what Sonic can do. Arjun S. Ravi has pulled out just enough gap. I'm not sure if Quick Killer will get DRS on the main straight. We will just see in a couple of seconds. But yeah, Quick Killer does not have DRS, but Sonic does not have a lot of battery left, so Sonic might have to stay behind for one more lap before he can put a charge. Up front, the gap...
Up front we have Caesar and Ashwin, who are still keeping pace with each other, but we're on lap 12 and they are very close to lapping Manan.
They are, as Ishan has pulled a move on Epic Brothers behind for P16.
And he's salvaged one more position, so that is good. So if you were the Williams, if you were in the if you were in the Williams, what would you do now? Would you pit Caesar first, or would you put Ashwin first?
Well, usually
as your
how it works
strategy?
is the car which is leading will have the option to pit first, or if he wants to ensure that his teammate pits first. I don't think either of them are pulling into the pits right now. And let's see, Quick Killer
Yeah.
losing more positions. What happened there? Quick Killer at the exit of that corner in sector 2 on the back straight has lost his car. I don't see any damage on the AlphaTauri right now, but he has
But
lost
we
a
do
lot
have
of positions.
Vifix and Racing Gupt have pitted, and the position, and I want to say one of the horses, I think Shadow Sword.
Yeah, Shadow
Yes.
Sword has pitted
Shadow
as well.
Sword, but
VFix is out on a set of
Vifix
hard
and Racing
tires.
Gupt,
So
they're
has
both
Racing
on
Gupt.
set of hard tires.
Yeah.
They both on hard tires, and they both came in. They came out exactly the same way they went in.
Yeah, so that's something which I'm not entirely sure why had happened, because if I were Racing Gupt, I would have tried to do the opposite to what VFix was doing, because he was anyways not going to, or was not able to make any impressions on him on track. So maybe he would have tried to do an undercut or an overcut on the Ferrari driver and get that position. Meanwhile, let's see what's happening elsewhere. Utkarsh
But
has
Racing
finally
Gupt
gone
also-
past Rohit Goel, and that Utkarsh into P11. Yes, Steves.
Sorry for interrupting, but yeah, no. What I was saying was Racing Group did make a mistake on his outlap, on the outlap. As soon as I think that is turn, I think turn 4, he did go run a little wide and dip his wheel into the gravel a bit. So that would have set him back a bit.
Right.
But
And
he
speaking
is-
about pit stops, Williams of Ashwin.
And he spun and he spun and he spun and he's damaged his wing. Racing Group spun out of the last turn, and it is Williams. And lucky for him, his teammate just pit and was on the exit, and he is going back. He's going on to a set of mediums now.
Yeah, because he cannot go on the same set of hards, so he has to go on a set which is different than his current set. So that is not going to help his race at all, because I don't think he can make those
Because
medium
now
tires
that
last.
puts him in 18th. He was in a position to take 4th, and now he is in 18th. And that just shows you how some of these turns are very unforgiving because of the narrowness of the track. There's a small mistake like that, and at least he was lucky. He just got away with a broken wing and not.
Well, Caesar in the pits, and his teammate meanwhile has a 5-second penalty. Can you just check Teves from the race director if that is for speeding in the pit lane? We missed that, and the Williams have come out and still in 1-2. PSI is behind in third
Yes,
place.
yes,
Kanav
yes.
in P4.
Yeah.
And is that a speeding for pit lane? Speeding into the pit lane
Yes, we
penalty?
do. We have 3 5-second penalties for speeding in the pit lane. Shadow Sword, Sonic Hawk, and Ashwin.
That's really unlucky for Ashwin. He was probably not going to win this race, judging by Caesar's pace, keeping him at its arm's length right now. But he might not even get that P2
and
right
Racing
now.
Gupta is on the verge. Racing Gupta is also on the verge of a 3-second penalty because he has 2 warnings for track limits.
Right, so he will have to tread carefully from now on. VFix meanwhile has caught up to the back of Arjun S. Ravi, who has stayed out on those medium tires on a different strategy right now. And I think on the next lap or on the main straight, the Ferrari will probably have a really good chance of overtaking Alfa Romeo. Let's see how VFix navigates the next few turns. And yeah, go on, Teves.
My team, from my information, the pit delta is about 13.8 seconds. So if Caesar was to pit right now, where he would come out where in P7.
Why does he
my
need
math
to
is
pit?
correct.
He's already pitted, Caesar.
Oh, he is already. Oh, oh shit! Sorry, I missed that. Oh, I missed that. Sorry, my mistake.
Right, Caesar has pitted, so I think we have seen our first round of pit stops. The only people yet to pit so far are Arjun S. Ravi on mediums,
the people who
Kanav on
started-
mediums. Yeah, the people who started on the hard or on the mediums. Vicky is in the pit meanwhile, and he might go on a set of hards as well. Racing Gupta is on the back of Sonic Hawk, and should be hoping to get past him. Both of them are on different strategies because Racing Gupta is on a set of mediums, and this has really compromised his race. Unless there's a safety car, it would be a struggle for him to score points. It is possible to stretch this mediums to the end, as Zoon is saying on the chat, but I am not entirely sure, and he would be really struggling with his tire wear at the end of the race.
But Jin says the tire wear right now is very high, so 22 laps on the mediums is going to stretch it, to be honest.
Yeah, it is going to be a bit of a struggle as Racing Gupta.
But Racing Gupta does make the move on Sonic Hawk. They give each other the respect and room, and that was a very clean and nice overtake. And now he's going to go after Google, and let's see.
Yeah, interestingly, Arjun S. Ravi has come out on a set of soft tires. Now there is absolutely no way they can go to the end. 19 laps on those tires is just not possible. So
I believe he is doing a two-stop.
Yeah, that's the only explanation. He will have
But he's doing the reverse. What?
yeah, I just read it. Right, batter at the front. I think Caesar is just keeping Ashwin within his DRS, and the Williams are working together. PSI Legends has dropped off a little bit, but
Thank
a very
you for that
strong
update, Suraj.
very strong race from PSI, I must say. He started in P3 and he started in P2 rather, got jumped by Ashwin. I think it was one of the laps where Ashwin did make that overtake work, but since then he has shown really strong pace, and now VFix is on the back of his teammate who is yet to pit. So let's see if the Ferrari play the team game and Karnav can move out of the way practically, because he is yet to pit, and I think if he's going for the strategy of hards to softs, Karnav will have to wait another 5-6 laps at least before he thinks about a pit stop.
Yeah, but VFX does seem to have regained some of his pace on these harder compound tires.
Well, he's catching people who are yet to pit and on who are on older tires, so I'm not really surprised that he's able to catch up to them. But let's see, once he clears Karnav, let's see what his pace is relative to PSI Legends.
He's still going to have some traffic. He still has some traffic of the Renault of Manan.
Yeah, that's a lap car, so should not be much of an issue. And further behind, I think Utkarsh was battling someone. Yeah, he just overtook Shadow, I think.
I think this is where yeah, he should get past his teammate Karnav, because he gets the DRS, and yeah, Vifix is through, and now he can chase after PSI. So now we need to see him catch.
Wait, I think I completely missed this. Tears.
Yes.
Ashwin has overtaken Caesar.
Oh yes, I just noticed that as
well. And knowing these drivers, I won't be too surprised if that was a team orders kind of a call, where because Ashwin has that penalty, Caesar will be willing to give that gap to him so that he can finish ahead of the likes of VFix and PSI Legends. So this will be interesting to see now.
But this also would help them in the help Ashwin in the drivers' championship, because it brings him close. Like as we said, it was going to be a tall order to close that gap and take P2 in the championship, but it does close the gap to P2 because of where Vifix is right now in 4th.
Yeah, definitely it does help to close the gap, as up front it's Safdar who's now on the back of Karnav, not working out for him right now, at least not on this lap. Racing Gupta meanwhile is trying to track down drivers and catch them and pass them. He is into P14 and is soon going to be in P13, as he is looking to get past the Red Bull of Google Dougal on the main straight on the next lap. Let's see how he makes that overtake done. He doesn't have a lot of battery left, but he has the help of DRS. That's the rear wing.
But he goes down the inside and it was a clean technical overtake, and now he can chase after Ishan.
Okay. Ishan on a set of mediums is still going
Wait,
on,
I am
and
going to update you
on
on
hard
the
side.
penalties because
Yeah, let's do that. Let's
I'm
do
going
that.
to update
Please.
you on the penalties because we've got a few. So we have Vicky, multiple warnings, track limits, 3 seconds, and Epic Brothers has got a 5 second for the 5 second for speeding in the pit lane, and yeah, and we've already covered the other 3 penalties that we have.
It's
But as
Safdar
I said,
into P5 has overtaken Kanav. So Kanav now definitely losing pace as compared to other drivers around him. And VFix has lost a further 2 or 3 tenths to PSI. So even after running in clean air, after overtaking his teammate, VFix is not showing the pace which we are used to seeing from him throughout the previous seasons and this one. So he probably knows about Ashwin's penalty, the 5 second time penalty, so he would be hoping to catch up to Ashwin so that he can finish ahead of him. But right now it's not looking so
Do you
good.
think that the drivers are banking on a possible safety car?
Well, I mean, they can, but I think they still need to continue this race as if there's not going to be a safety car. I'm sure they are thinking about
Exactly, because
which tires they would go on if there is a safety car, but at the same time,
is Vifix also trying no traction control, Jin? And is that why his pace is different?
and let's see if he answers that, Jin. Was watching Shadow Sword and he was not able to get past Utkarsh right now. Meanwhile, Ashwin has not really been able to pull away despite running in clean air. Caesar is staying within. Oh, Ishan has made a move.
But
Ishan has made a move on Rohit Goel. So that's Ishan into P11 and 14 more laps to go. 31 laps on hard will be stretching
no, he's
it.
not. Okay, he's reached the peak of medium traction control. Okay. No,
Right.
because the reason I ask is because we're trying to figure out why. Like we're used to seeing Vifix much more competitive and literally up there in the fight with everyone, and we see him
Oh,
struggling.
Google
And
Dougal has retired.
Google has crashed.
Google Dougal has retired, and let's see if that brings out a safety car right now. It's not
If
yet.
it brings out a safety.
Oh, I think it has probably. Yeah, there is a safety. There's a VSC. And let's see if anyone dives into the pits. People have stayed out for most part. I think Kanav might dive into the pits now. I think this is very opportune time for him to.
I think he
go
has a
on
gap. He has a gap. He has a gap, and I think yes, he has. Yes, he has. Kanav's dived into the pits.
Oh, the track
And
just
it's,
goes green as he has entered the pits.
But he might. This might work out for him. Though it's going to be very close. Mercedes has also dived into. Oh, he got an ERS glitch which turned his ERS from 80 to 0. Oh. Okay.
That explains it. Kanav has rejoined in P9 and just behind Arjun Shah, who is on those old hard tires. Yeah,
can Kanav make these softs last?
Yeah, I think 14 laps is a bit of a stretch, but it should be fine. I think he should be able to make it.
I think the maximum anybody did was 12, 13, possibly 13 laps. I missed that whole season. I don't know how many laps Caesar and all did. But
yeah, but those were on heavier fuel. Kanav is on lighter fuel right now, so that helps the tire wear as well.
That definitely does help.
Yeah, let's see if Kanav is going to make a move. I think he definitely will be one of the fastest people on the track right now on those soft tires, and I think this is going to be an easy move for him on the racing point.
But would he want to? Oh, as Shadow Sword is the diving into the pit, I believe.
Yeah,
or
he has.
Was that a back marker?
No, I think that was Manan who is into the pits. Kanav meanwhile has overtaken Arjun Shah, so that's Kanav into P8, and his next target will be Shadow Sword, whom he should be catching in maybe a couple of laps, because that's how fast those softs will be as compared to the.
Kanav has a thing. Does he Does he go all out now to gain back as many positions as possible? And I think honestly, I think Kanav could be making this strategy work. I think he could be in the run for driver of the day.
Yeah, it could be
But
possible. PSI
does he
meanwhile
go
has
all out?
well, Nakano
Sorry,
is a very
yes.
experienced racer, and
Yeah.
I think he's definitely thinking long term right now. He knows that he has to make these soft tires last till the end of the race, so I'm sure he's thinking
So-
about that as well.
So potentially he will push for maybe a lap, 2 laps, 3 laps, gain as many positions he can get, and then preserve the softer tires for later in the race when all of these other drivers have literally done nearly 20 laps on their tires, right?
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. But look at him; he has almost closed down a second on Shadow Sword in just a couple of sectors. So he's definitely closing in fast, and those softs will be naturally fast as things go. Rohit Gol in the pits.
Yes.
That promotes Racing Gupta and Utkarsh a position. Let's see if we can promote the likes of Sonic Hawk as well. Yeah, Sonic Hawk is through, and I was just saying something which we missed again is Caesar and
Yes.
Ashwin have switched places. Caesar is now leading the race, Ashwin in P2, and PSI Legends is within a second of Ashwin. So PSI Legends will now start getting that help of DRS, and Ashwin is in the pits. Ashwin is in the pits, and very sure he's going to serve his 5 second right now. And oh my God, did he have a drive-through?
I believe he did have a drive-through penalty.
Right, so that was in the VSC period.
We did not get that. I did not get that.
Yeah, I don't think I got a
notification.
notification either. But Ashwin had a drive-through and is out in P5 right now, and that's where he might finish because
Yes,
of that 5 second penalty.
He got a drive-through for speeding under the VSC. Unfortunately.
Wow, completely missed that. What's happening further behind? Vicky! Oh, I was just going to him because his gap to Epic Brothers was quite small, but Vicky has lost it at the exit of one of those chicanes in the final sector and is now back on track. I don't think he has damage. Let's wait and watch, because if he might pull into the pits, if he has damage, he is going to continue. So the McLaren is fine for now. His teammate, meanwhile, is running a stellar. I think this is one of the best performances I've seen from PSI this season for sure. Maybe in his IRL career, because I remember USA he was very fast last season. He got a podium there.
Yeah.
But this has been a great season so far and great race so far from PSI. But as things stand,
from the points table. From the points table, he had a very good race in Russia. He had a very good race in Russia, and he is sitting, for those who joining us new, he is sitting for 11th in the points table, 11th with 34 points. And he did have some bad luck at the beginning of the season. He did not finish the first 2 races, but he has consistently scored points except for one. Except for Belgium, he scored points in every race.
right.
He
Meanwhile, Kanav has overtaken Shadow Sword, so that's Kanav into P7 and again putting a great performance in the Ferrari. That's
See, now this is where Kanav has to think about the long term, right? Because he has a 14. No, he's not a 14. He has a 1.3. So do you
Yeah,
think
so
he
I
just
think-
he tries to catch Arjun Ravi, who is on old soft tires, 6-lap older softer tires, and who definitely needs to conserve his tires more than Kanav. But
Yeah.
he gets that position from Ravi and then just holds position, right? He doesn't need to push and try to close that 16 second gap to Ashwin in 5th after that drive-through penalty, right?
Well, Arjun S. Ravi has just pitted, so Kanav is automatically into P6.
Automatically.
And it won't be Kanav if it doesn't push, because he knows Ashwin has a 5 second penalty which he has to serve at the end of the race because of that speeding into the pit lane. So I think in the next few laps he might still push and try to get within the 12-second gap right now. I know it's a tall order, closing
now-
down 10 seconds,
right now
12
it's
seconds
12
on
seconds.
Ashwin. Yeah.
But I think it's 12 seconds with a car that is becoming lighter because of the fuel load, and on
Exactly.
4-lap old soft tires, with everyone around him on 14 lap, on average 14 lap, The only other person with other person with the highest longest tires would be Ishan on 23 lap old hards. So
Yeah.
I think it's something he could potentially do, and honestly, Ashwin doesn't make mistakes as often, but there is that possibility that track limits. Let me just check how many warnings Ashwin gives.
I don't think Ashwin is usually the people who gets a lot of time penalties, at least as far as track limits are concerned. But right now he has got 2 penalties in this race so far, and both of them he has no one else to blame but himself for that, unless there's a glitch in terms of.
Ashwin does have, as far as I know, he has 1 warning. Yes, he has 1 warning. Yep. He has one warning, so
he is feeling the effect of that DRS strain right now, because he is trying to chase down Safdar, and he has caught up to the back of him, who is on the back of VFix, but Ashwin is not able to make the most check because the driver in front has DRS of the Ferrari, so might have to stay on for 1 more lap, and that would be another warning, so make it 2 warnings with Teves. Yeah.
2 warnings for Ashwin, but he is close, and you see him trying to break that slipstream to try and cool his car, I'm guessing, because he is definitely pushing. He is low on ERS as well. He is low,
not
so
a lot
he's
of battery in that Williams.
He really wants to get back ahead. Getting back P2 is potentially impossible, but P3 is on tap for him. Is definitely, if he doesn't make any more mistakes.
Right, and that's Arjun S. Ravi, who has just made a move on Utkarsh for P11. So, and what's happening behind? It's Rohit Goel on Sonic Hawk. That's Rohit Goel into P13, and up front Ashwin
Sorry for interrupting, but as Jin says, Safdar is running a high downforce setup, so he does struggle on the straights. So
that is possible, but right now it's the VFix's Ferrari which is helping him out on the straights right now. As you can see, the red light flashing, and Ashwin using almost all of his battery to try to stay.
Yes, he is
with
0%. Ashwin's 0%, like he's literally now harvested some, and he's come up to 11%, but he is really pushing, and he really wants to get past this Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, definitely something which
I believe you said that this is Safdar's first race.
I think so. I don't think I've seen him race in any of the previous league races in F1 or F2 or either of the divisions in F1. So I definitely think this is his first race, unless it's someone we know but has changed their username or PSN. Then that's something I'm not aware of. But either ways, teams, let's just quickly talk about Caesar. He is 5 laps away from sealing a third.
We have PSI made a mistake. He spun. PSI made a mistake and he spun exactly in the same place where I spun yesterday, and that puts Vifix and Safdar and Ashwin back in the mix for P2 and P3, and it gives Caesar all the room he needs to run away with this. And that is Vifix gone past. Vifix has gone past. Luckily for PSI, he has no damage. From what I can see, he has no damage. But you were talking about Caesar, and Caesar got gifted. And, Safdar nearly went into the back of PSI the way Charles Leclerc nearly went into the back of Seb at the safety car restart.
Wow, Jin, that was something.
I shall prevent the overlord from hearing your comment, Jin.
Racing Gupta has made a move on Ishan, and Ishan, kudos to him for sticking it out. 27 laps on those hards and still going. Racing Gupta into P9 and is now almost 7 seconds adrift of his teammate. But this move by VFix, courtesy PSI Legends' mistake.
Yes.
I'm not sure if Caesar can win it this time around. The gap will be 4 points here. Can you quickly check the fastest lap for us, Teves?
Yes. 1 second. 1 second. Sorry. Fastest lap is Caesar with a 1:11.0 and 1:11 flat. Vifix's fastest lap is a 1:11.8. PSI's is a 1:11.6. Safdar 1:11.646. Ashwin is a 1:11.0. So Ashwin's the only person closest, and then Kanav with a 1:11.1.
Right, so Kanav might still get that fastest lap because although he's not really catching up to Ashwin as he was earlier now, but why I asked that is Caesar might still win the championship even if VFX finishes in P2.
Yes, he has 26. He has 27 points, if I'm not mistaken.
He has 27 points right now, and VFX will end up with 21 as it stands. So Caesar, I think, might still win it, and PSI is not making it easy for VFX right now. He wants that P2 back, which he lost because of his own mistake. So let's see what PSI can do on this main straight with just 2 laps to go after this one.
Ashwin making a move. Ashwin's finally making a move on Safdar as well, as PSI had to back out of that, but Ashwin has made a move on Safdar and he is in P4 again.
Safdar has a 3-second time penalty. Ashwin has a 5-second. So Ashwin has to pull out a gap of at least 2 seconds if he wants to finish ahead of Safdar at the end of the race. PSI meanwhile motivated as ever and wants to get that move done on VFX. He is within... Oh, what happened to Shadow Sword?
I did not see that, but...
So Kanav and Shadow Sword, I think they swapped places there. Not entirely sure what went on there. But PSI
Shadow
Legends...
Sword does have a 5-second penalty as well. I believe that was for the speeding in the pit lane as well.
Yeah, though that will be added to his race time at the end of the race. PSI Legends now again for the second lap in a row.
Under pressure, he is definitely under pressure from Ashwin now. So
riding on board with Ashwin right now. He is draining his battery right now in a bit to catch PSI. Is he going for a late dive bomb? I think he's smarter than that and has to stay behind in P4 right now. PSI Legends.
I think they're all using all the energy. All of these drivers are using all of the energy available to them. Even Vifix going down that start-finish straight had ended at the end of the straight had 9% left in his battery. Again, PSI 8%, 10% right now. Vifix 13%. Ashwin 10%. They're all really pushing, and there's a yellow flag as it's one of the Renaults. Is it Manan? Yes, it is
could
Manan,
be him.
I
I'm watching a battle between Arjun Asravi and Utkarsh. Arjun actually ran into the back of Ishan, which is why he has lost a part of his front wing, and that really brought Utkarsh into the equation. But for now, Utkarsh has to stay behind for the last point paying position. What's happening up front meanwhile? For the last time before Caesar starts his final lap already, PSI has one more chance, I believe. This is his only chance, and let's see if Epic Brothers is retired in the session. Is that on the main straight? Oh, oh my God! Ashwin has retired as well. Oh, what just happened there?
Wait, what just happened to Ashwin?
He ran into Epic Brothers, who was stranded on the main straight. I really hope to God that was not a retirement on track. What's happening with PSI? Meanwhile, Safdar is into P3 in all that. PSI had to avoid that incident. Kanav is
Vifix has made a mistake because of the crash, and I am surprised that there's not a virtual safety car or any safety car because of the
that's the last lap. So
it's the last lap. There won't be a safety car. But
Caesar is pushing even harder, and with just one more corner to go, it is 3 consecutive titles. Yeah, that's 3 consecutive titles for Caesar. Driver's title as well as constructor title. It is probably a fastest lap as well to go with. It's under Chalo Caesar for 3rd season in a row. VFX will finish P2, and it's not enough to keep the title fight alive. Safdar will finish in P3, but PSI Legends will probably finish ahead of him. Oh no, he's quite some way behind. So Safdar actually has a podium on his IRL debut. PSI in P4.
Is this the first IRL debut which is ending with the podium?
No, it's not. Sume did finish in the podium in Spain, so in Division 2. So Shadow
Oh,
Sword finishing in P5, Kanav in
on his
P6.
okay.
What happened to Kanav? Okay, Kanav is back in
Kind of at
P5.
P5.
Racing
P5.
Gupta, good recovery for him after that mistake. He's into P8, Ishan in P9, Arjun S. Ravi finishing P10,
Yes.
Utkarsh P11, Rohit Goel last point paying position in P12. Serial Killer actually jumps in, so Serial Killer does get 1 point in P12. P13 is Rohit, P14 is Sonic, and Teves. Meanwhile, if you can just quickly get
Yes,
Caesar,
I
VFix,
just
and
started.
Safdar 21. But what
I
was
do not.
that on the last lap? I really hope this was not a retirement on track. That would be
If that, I think if that was a retirement on
calamitous.
track,
Because
there's going to have to be strict action because that just ruined Vifix's entire race.
well, not
I mean, not
VFix. He was
Vifix's,
going
sorry.
to finish P2 anyway,
No,
but
Ashwin.
PSI Legends and Ashwin retired from the race, crashed into Epic Brothers, and PSI Legends lost a short podium because of that. But
Uh, Madhav, I do not have Saftar, so I cannot
yeah,
add him.
you can just type his name into PSN and add him to the party. It is Safdar SAFDAR underscore 21. Meanwhile, let me just quickly run through the results again. As you can see on the screen, Caesar winning and commanding lead, which helps him to clinch the driver's title. VFX in P2, Safdar down to the podium. A little bittersweet for PSI because he does not finish on the podium in P4. Kanav in P5, Arjun Arun Shah P6. Shadow Sword finishes P7. Good race from him. Started where he finished. Racing Gupta in P8, Ishan in P9, Arjun
Yeah, but
Asravi in P10.
Nishan does bring up a good point. Considering what happened, the incident that happened, and considering it happened on the literally on the last lap, what action, what happens now?
Well,
Like, what
we'll have to
can be
wait
done?
for the stewards to actually weigh in on that, as the rest of the results are Utkarsh, Serial Killer, Rohit Goel, Sonic Hawk, Quick Killer, Ashwin Lakhwani DNF'd. He still finished ahead of the likes of Vicky, Manan, Epic Brothers retired as well on the last lap, and Dougal was also retirement. So all in all, what a race we've had in the last few laps. Absolutely
Who,
threw some life
who
into
do you
it.
think is who do you think is your driver of the day?
Well, by Mother Drive, I think it will go to Kanav. I think what a race he had starting on those hard tires and finishing very strongly in P5, and that's something which we are used to by now. Starting outside of top
Yeah.
10, finishing quite high up in the results order. But that being
Yeah.
said, I think the likes of PSI Legends and Caesar as well had really good races. So let's wait and watch. Is Safdar going to join the party anytime soon, or we can get started with our podium interviews?
I
Let me
haven't,
just-
I have invited him, but I think
Yeah.
we can start because we do have P1 and P2, Caesar and Vifix.
Yeah, let me just quickly check if Safdar is joining. Until then, we can. Yeah, let's start either ways. Let's start with VFix then. And Teams, do you want to get us started with VFix?
Vifix, congratulations on. Oh shit! Sorry, I was just seeing the replay of Ashwin's POV of what happened, his incident, and that scared me. But Vifix, congratulations on P2. You did not have the best race that we you have races you used to seeing you have. You want to tell us what happened? What was happening during the race?
Yeah. Before I begin, first of all, congrats Caesar for winning the title and the race. And yeah, speaking about my race, I mean, first of all, I think I need some heart medication right there because what happened on that lap, it's just I don't know how I avoided the guy. It was just instinctive. He just reappeared in front of me. It was just so instinctive. I had to I had around what a half a second maybe to register it. So I don't even know how I'm here, to be honest. I thought I'd share PSI and Ashwin's.
You guys just heard my reaction to seeing Ashwin's what's it called, Ashwin's POV. So yeah, I can't even imagine what you felt like. But yeah, you were talking about your race.
Yeah. So first of all, yeah, I mean, quali wasn't the best. Didn't really hook a lap. But I knew that Ashwin and PSI had some older tires compared to me in qualifying because they did those 2 runs. But then again, we had to restart the lobby, so that basically took away that advantage. And then on race pace, I was just trying to keep within undercut range, saving a lot of ERS. And then the game, really don't know what happened. I got the communicating with online services for a second, and then I went from 80% ERS to 0. So I then had to basically start harvesting ERS by like lap 5. So that completely like ruined any chance I thought at the time of getting a podium, much less P2. But then Ashwin had some speeding penalties, some drive-throughs, and PSI with that spin. So yeah, just keeping it clean at the end of the day just got me that P2, and then of course the incident at the end as well. Had to take around 3 or 4 years out of my lifespan to avoid him there, but yeah, all in all,
But
happy
we also noticed that
avoiding
you
him.
had a very similar, you nearly had a very similar incident because when you came around for your last lap, Ashwin's car was still on the track and you went deep and nearly went into the gravel.
Yeah.
I
No,
believe.
that wasn't me. That was
That
Kanav.
that was kind of okay. Sorry, that was my mistake. I
It's
got
a
confused.
rookie. It's your debut. We'll let you off that.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Bifix.
VFix,
Oh, yeah.
what happened to
Yo.
your race pace during the middle of the sprint? I think you were struggling for pace, trying to catch. PSI was not really working out, and the guys from behind were catching you. So, apart from that glitch which you just mentioned about your ERS, was there anything else, something which you missed on the setup, maybe?
No, not really. I think the pace was quite comparable. I think literally all of the time I was losing was because I literally could not use overtake mode on any straight. So I would just like automatically lose 4 tenths because Ashwin was in PSI's DRS range. So that made it really difficult for me. And then I thought, well, might as well make this early pit stop, see what happens later on. If people make mistakes, I'll capitalize on it. And people did make mistakes, so that did help.
Right, right.
I mean, it's been
And
one of my
yeah,
it's
go
been
on.
one of my calling cards really this season. Just managed to pick off podiums when others are making mistakes, and yeah, that's just the story of basically the season for me, to be honest.
Right, so one more race to go. Both the drivers and the constructors' championships have been sealed. How will you approach France now that you know that the pressure is off and it's just probably one race to have fun and battle these guys?
I'm gonna take Caesar out at turn 1. That's how I'm gonna approach.
Seems quite good.
Yeah,
But
no, I think it's just to have fun now. That's the main reason why we all started league racing, and yeah, that it's just a fun now exhibition. Hopefully, if I can help Kanav gain a couple of places in the championship, then that would be good as well.
Right.
But yeah, congratulations, Bifix, on
Congratulations
P2 in the
once again.
P2 in the race and P2 in the standings.
Right, moving on. Before we move to Caesar, I think Safdar will not be able to join us, who finished in P3 on his league debut. I think, please correct me, Caesar, if I'm wrong, but I think this was his debut in IRL. We have PSI and
It
Ashwin.
was.
Oh, it was okay. We have PSI and Ashwin who had a last lap incident with one of the back markers. So we thought we'll just quickly get them in. I know emotions running high, especially for Ashwin who had to DNF and retired by crashing into the Mercedes. So any of one of you, if you can just quickly tell us what happened and what went on in that madness of a second or two where you can see a car just stranded on the main straight.
Uh, yeah, yeah, we can hear you.
Right, that's really unlucky for you, Ashwin. Probably people on the stream can't hear you as well. I think that's because you have joined on the phone. But yeah, just to summarize, you basically did see a Merc retiring on the screen at least. At least that's a notification you got. Seems like there are some mic issues.
No, Malav, I think you need to share everyone's voice. Apparently, everyone's voice isn't being shared.
Hello, hello. Am I audible? Should be.
Let's see. Let's see if people can do that. We have been commentating all race on this one team,
Yeah.
so I'm sure.
So yours
the
and mine.
party-
I think yours and my settings are fine. I think everyone.
Either ways, let's move on to. So let people confirm that. But okay,
Caesar is audible.
Yeah, I think that's probably
Okay.
because Ashwin is joining through phone, so
Well,
maybe.
Ashwin's on his phone.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah,
So,
Ashwin is on his phone, and that is why he's not audible. So we apologize for that, guys.
right. Moving on to PSI. PSI, you're still here?
Yeah, I'm here. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can
Yes.
hear you. I hope you have ensured
I
that
hope so.
your party sharing audio is on. But
Yeah, it should be.
yeah. Okay, fine. So talk us through your race as well, because you definitely deserved a podium. You, I'm sorry. You were running a really good. You were running a really good race, and almost you were on the back of Mercedes and within the DRS of both of them. So really strong pace from you. You made a mistake, I think, with a couple of laps to go in the third sector after exiting that chicane, which is why we fixed and Ashwin and Saftar were able to, chase you. But what happened on the last lap as well? So just talk us through your race.
I mean, I'm just gutted for the fact that what could have been, just imagining what could have been and what has just happened. So I really don't know what to say, but yeah, I mean, pace-wise, I don't know. Ashwin, I think he had a tough day, I guess, more than me, to be honest, because DNFing and everything. I let him through in the initial stages because I knew he had pace. But yeah, he had drive-throughs and all sort of penalties. But then I made a mistake. I made a slight mistake. And we took advantage of it and he overtook me, but that's fine. But then I really don't know what happened with the Mercedes, because Epic Brothers was in a party chat with me and he did say he retired, so I thought he retired in the pits. But then when VFix moved right and when I suddenly saw the Mercedes, there's nothing really I could do there, and I got a front wing. But it's really sad that Ashwin DNF from that race, because I would have loved to share a podium perhaps. I mean, but I think that's just how it is, and I have to move on, I guess.
Right. But definitely a strong showing from you, and one of those drives where I'm sure a lot of people will remember for sure. Even if it didn't end you, in a podium, but for sure it was a very strong drive from you and great pace in qualifying as well as race. Teams, anything from you before we move to Caesar?
No, I think that was the thing you covered it all.
Right. So the man of the moment now, Caesar. 3 back-to-back constructors as well as drivers championship. Are you announcing your retirement in this weekend, or you're still going to race?
Why do you guys want my retirement?
I think more than anything, we don't want your retirement. We want you to create your own division where you race yourself. I think that is what works.
Or maybe
you
Ghost
and
of
the committee
himself.
of
But
Caesars
in all
should just race
honesty
yourselves.
and in all seriousness, Caesar, congratulations once again. Pole and a race win and a fastest lap. Maybe you led all the laps, so that is definitely a grand slam for the weekend.
He did not lead all the laps. He did not lead all the
No,
laps.
Ashwin led few.
All right,
led
Ashwin
a
did.
few.
Yeah, Ashwin did lead a few laps. Now coming to that, I saw a couple of. I mean, we did miss it, but we saw on the timing screen that there was a couple of position swaps between you and Ashwin. Was that because was it a genuine battle between the two of you, or was it because to cover off Ashwin's 5 second, or what was going on?
Yeah, so I started with very low fuel just to get a good launch. I think I started with plus 0.5 laps of fuel. So yeah, I got a good launch because of that, and then I tried to pull up a gap to PSI while pulling Ashwin along with me. And then once we knew that we had that gap, it was decided. I mean, we just decided that let's swap the position so that I can save the fuel and I can use this DRS just to stay a bit far ahead to PSI. And that's exactly what happened. And I think after the virtual safety car, once he got his drive-through, I think it was, so we decided that we'll just swap back again, because the plan was to swap back positions before that VSC came in, and then pull away at least a 5-second gap to PSI in P3. Because I had plenty of ERS, I had close to 100% when VSC came out, and Ashwin had less than 10. So the plan was that, the plan went down the bin. So we decided, okay, let's just swap the position for good and, try to make the most out of it.
Right. Okay. So yeah, unlucky for Ashwin again. I think I can't think of a driver who has had bad luck throughout this league in all 4 seasons than Ashwin. So that's something which probably, I don't know if his stars are not aligned for some reason. But either way, it's a strong weekend from you, and in fact from Ashwin as well. Definitely was on course for a good results. I understand that the drive-through penalty and the 5-second speeding into the pit lane penalty would have impeded his race and might not have landed him on a podium. But otherwise, once again, a great weekend from the Williams. And now, I mean, the pressure is off. You had both the championship sealed. So how do you approach France the next weekend? And how do you like France as a track?
Yeah, France is a pretty strong track for me. So I'm glad that tracks like Zandvoort and France are towards the latter half of the stage. So, but the target was to seal the title here. And I was actually nervous for some reason, because even in my quali practice runs, I was doing a very low 108.2s, and when it mattered tonight, I couldn't even. I barely did a 108.3. So yeah, I think I was letting the pressure of getting the title done tonight get to me, but fortunately I ended up getting the pole with that lap, and then I just managed to hold on to the lead and get the purple lap as well along with the pole. So I'm happy with the result, obviously, but could have been better for it as a team if that crash or that drive-through wouldn't have happened. But I think all part of racing. You can't have a perfect weekend every time, I guess.
Yeah, you nearly pulled a Hamilton with that last lap, purple lap as well. So on those hard tires. So that was great to watch as well. Teams, anything from you before we close?
No, I think you summed it up well. But once again, congratulations, Caesar, on the constructors, which I think you guys sealed last weekend, and that drivers this weekend. So
Thank
congratulations, and we will see you in France.
Yes, we will. And just before you wrap up, I just have one thing to say.
Yeah.
So I am actually announcing my retirement from IRL.
Oh, come on. You know that was a joke, Caesar.
No, it wasn't I mean, you guys did say it, but it's like, like, how the hell guys do you know? How the hell do you guys know that? But yeah, I mean, on seriousnness, I have been talking about it with my teammate for past few weeks. It wasn't something that came out all of a sudden. So, few personal things came out. I will be leaving the country as well pretty soon for my work. And I will be in a new environment altogether. So I don't know when I will get that entire normal setup. Hopefully pretty soon. But I think keeping that in mind, from the racing side of things, I will be taking an indefinite sabbatical from IRL. I will be, however, in managing stuff. Hopefully planning for the next season is it's still on. It's going on at the moment. So hopefully, depending on how many people get the new game and how many sign up, it will be out. But as of now, this is official. I will race the France race finale for sure. But after that, yes, I won't be there for next season. That's confirmed. So that's from me.
And now that you've dropped that bombshell on us, we do have questions for you. First question being, as Jin asks, will you be commentating future seasons?
Like I said, I mean, I'll be leaving India and I'll be moving to a new country. So, I mean, if I can get everything sorted out as fast as possible, I can jump in the comms here and there. But I mean, I would love to commentate, of course, and if time allows me and yeah, I will definitely be there. But don't take it as a yes, but don't take it as a no as well.
But okay, whatever said and done, I know we are all going to miss you, especially Nova. Nova's definitely going to miss you a lot, as we can see in the comments.
sure.
Nova's going to miss you a lot.
Noah, by the way, Noah, you have to come back now. Like this is, like, there's no bigger.
I'll be sad if Nova decides to come back when I leave. He can
We all
join
know
us,
that's
I'm just
gonna.
kidding.
We all know that's gonna happen now. Like, but yeah, we will miss you on the track, Caesar. We will definitely miss you on the track.
Yeah, I'll
and
miss
thank
racing,
you
of
for-
course, but
And I know you're. I know you said you're still going to run the league and plan the leagues and all of that. But once again, we thank you for everything that you have done for the league.
yeah, don't mention it, guys. I mean, yeah, it's always good to have all of you around and race with you, and yeah, getting to know all of you. So, cheers.
And please do not be like other admins and forget about us now that you stopped racing with us.
I'm not going. I'm just stopping racing. I'm not going anywhere. I'll be around on Discord. Yeah, so I'll be around for sure.
Right, so with that bombshell, something which is anti-climax to what we've been hoping so far. But yeah, once again, thank you, Caesar, for all you have done for the league and your racing as well. I think those stats is something which, let's see if someone else can challenge those stats, because I think this was the 24th win of the league so far. So let's see when and if someone actually reaches that stat. But that being said,
The
wonderful,
only
strong.
person,
Yeah.
only person crazy enough to attempt that is also in this chat with us.
No, let's not forget the likes of Ashwin and Nova either. If Nova actually decides to come out of retirement especially after hearing this news. But Caesar, see you in France, and let's hope that it is a good one, at least because
Yes.
you might not be racing for a long time after France. So let's hope that it is a good race and you have fun in France in the Paul Ricard circuit. But that being
hope
said,
so, yes.
that's it from the comms box this weekend. I'm sure the discussion will continue after this news has broken out. I definitely feel like Netflix right now. But that's it from the comms box this weekend. Congratulations, Caesar, once again to VFX as well as to Safdar, who are on the podium. Tough luck for PSI and Ashwin, who were unlucky with that last lap crash. In terms of racing, we still have one more round to go for Division 1, so tune in for that next Saturday at 9:45. That's the France race we have. As far as Division 2 is concerned, 2 races left, France as well as Hungary, so that is on Fridays 9:45. So hope you enjoyed this coverage. Thank you again, Teeves, for jumping in the comms box and helping me out. It has been a
No,
great
thank you for having me.
couple of hours
Yeah, thank you,
commentating
Teeves.
with you, and it was a lot of fun. I'm sure, Teeves. I hope you enjoyed it as well.
was.
And
I
I hope
did
our
enjoy
viewers
myself,
liked it as
and
well.
Now I'm not as nervous, but I hope everyone enjoyed it.
Oh, good,
And,
good.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah.
So yeah, that's it. That's it from the comms box. Hope you enjoyed this coverage and take care of yourselves. Goodbye. Take care, and yeah, have a good weekend and hopefully not a boring French Grand Prix tomorrow.
Yeah. Thanks for the